Good afternoon, welcome to CFMOTO Side Rider. What are we doing today? We're going to be changing this winch cable. This is a brand new winch cable, but since I'm going to be using this CFMOTO Z-Force for plowing, I don't want this long metal cable here on this winch because it's going to be going in and out, you know, when you're lifting the plow up and down, and it's just going to get all like loose inside here on the spool. It's going to be like a bird's nest kind of thing. So what I did is I went and bought a smaller synthetic winch rope. It's only 15 feet long. It's not so much cable or rope to get all birds nested up here on the spool. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to put it inside through the spool. Now there's a hole in the spool where the cable is going through. It's too small for this synthetic rope. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole in there. I'm going to check it out first. I'm going to try and drill a hole where the cable goes through and make it just a touch wider so I can fit this synthetic rope through there. Now I was talking to Steve over at Redneck Garage, and he thought, well, that could work. It might work because there's no other option. So I'm going to give it a try, and if it doesn't work, we'll just blame Steve over Redneck Garage. No, just kidding. Steve's got a good channel there at Redneck Garage, and you should go check it out at Redneck Garage. So let's get to our job here and see how far we get. So the first thing we have to do is undo these two bolts here on the fair lead. This is called a fair lead. So you have to undo these two bolts to remove the fair lead so that you can get your cable out of there and get in there and drill that hole into the spool. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this hook off because we need this hook for the winch cable. So we're just going to grab a pair of wire cutters here and bend our cotter pin. Straighten it out best we can so we can run it through the hole here. And we're just going to pull it out just like that. And then we're going to pull this pin out. And there we got our hook out. So now we're going to take off these two bolts for the fair lead. So I got my wrench here that I need. I'm going to reach in behind and put it around the nut. And we're going to take our air gun. You could use a ratchet and a socket for this. Got a wrench back there, do the same thing. Hope we don't lose our nuts. Okay, now that we have the fair lead off, we've exposed the cable and the spool, and you can see this cable is loose on there. Well, once you unwrap a cable from once it's new on a winch, it's never the same, but it's not that loose on there. But with the shorter 15-foot synthetic rope, it's going to be a lot better for plowing, that is. So now I'm just going to activate the winch here, and actually I'll just reach back here and I will turn the knob here to disengage the spool so it's free flow, and maybe we can just pull it right out, or maybe not. So there you go, guys. I had to stop the camera. This thing was jammed up in there so bad, this cable. It was pinched under other parts of the cable. It was impossible. And I've only plowed once with it. Now, if I wouldn't have done this, wanted to install this synthetic rope, I wouldn't have known, because I'd be only plowing with it. It only goes up and it only moves so far, right? But this cable was just jammed in there. I had to use a big screwdriver, move and wedge the cable, keep pulling on it, and all kinds of things. It was insane. So now we got it loose. We may end up with another snag, you never know, but this is what can happen, and this is why I'm putting on that shorter rope. So we'll get this all unspooled and we'll hang it up on the wall for summertime. And there we are. So now inside here is a Allen screw. It's a set screw. We have to loosen it to get the cable out. Yep, there we go. So we got that loose. I'm probably gonna leave it in just a little bit. We'll bring the spool back, and there we got our cable out. So now we'll have to go get a drill bit. I'm gonna take this set screw right out of there so we don't drill the end of it off. So now I'm gonna figure out which size drill bit I'm gonna use to get the synthetic rope in here. I tried to squeeze it through. I tried to put a wire around here, tape it, put grease on it, pull and push at the same time with a pair of pliers and everything. Impossible. I think we drilled all the way through. We just got to get this rope skinnied up a little more. Maybe we'll lubricate it a bit more. I think it's going to go through. I hope so, because we're fighting daylight here. We're losing some. And we can't afford to do a video in the dark. Well, guys, with a little bit of patience, and I made it through. I don't know if you can see, but the rope goes right through now. So what we're going to do is we're just going to give it a little extra rope like that. And then we're going to lock it up. And we're going to wind her up a bit. Okay, so now that the end of the rope in there on the spool has pinched itself with the other ropes, I'm just going to swing it to the side, get rid of all these metal shavings from drilling, and we'll put everything back together. Put our hook on the end of our winch cable here, and we're good to go. Well, we finished the job. I ended up having to drill that hole just a slight touch bigger, and I got the synthetic rope through. I bolted the fair lead back on. Everything's buttoned up right. I got the winch bumper on. Now we're ready for plowing. We don't have to worry about our cable getting all bunched up and locked up in there. So that's it. It's doable. So I'm happy about it. If you found this video helpful, let me know by giving me a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next video.